Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me on another episode of Yoyo. My name is T. Today I'm here to take a look at a yo-yo that I received a long time ago. I'm sorry I haven't been able to make a video of it until now, but I'm very excited to take a look at it. We're going to be looking at the Lowkey Throws Arbor. So is this yo-yo's bite better than its bark, or is this one yo-yo that you'd be better off leaving in the woods? So let's take a look at the Lowkey Throws Arbor. So the Arbor is an organic shape. It's very O-shaped, and it's got a nice fat step up here, which really helps with grinds and keeping the string off the response. I really like how wide this thing is. The cup, there is none. On the cups, in the cup area, you're gonna see this wood material here. This is walnut. And then the outside here, there's a little metal inlay. And then I think the inside of the cup is hollow here, but yeah, there's nothing going on except the wood caps, which is really awesome. The material is 6061. This is the gunmetal colorway, and then the side here, as I said, is walnut. This is actual wood. The feel is really nice. It's really comfortable in the hand. This fits very well. It's got the great organic shape. It's just flared out enough that it fits my fingers really well. And on catches and stuff, it's really nice too, because this side here is really rounded, so it feels great to hold and catch. And the look is just, I mean, it's super classy. Look at this thing. You've got the gunmetal gray, then you've got the walnut on the sides here. This is just a beautiful yo-yo all around. It did come with a different string than this. I ended up using it all up, so I've switched it out since then with the zip line. But this has a really nice set of a couple strings that come with it that are custom made. I hope the cicadas aren't too bad today, guys. I couldn't put off this video anymore. Sorry about that. So the history of the Arbor, I was just taking a look at it on Lowkey's Instagram, actually. They were getting quite active on Instagram, kind of talking up the Arbor and the woodland, and I kind of just messaged them to say, like, this is awesome. I love what you guys are doing. And he offered to send me one to try out, to check out, and he said, you know, I could keep it as long as I wanted, which was forever, as it turns out. But this is a really cool yo-yo. I mean, right away, I was shocked at just how different it was, how different it looks, kind of how audacious the whole project is. I just love every part of it. But like I said, Yoyo is not a business. I'm not in this to make money. It's a passion project. I don't make any money off of this. Actually, the person over at Lowkey didn't even say, like, please make a video or anything like that. He just said, yeah, you can just try it out if you want. And I said, I'd like to make a video and stuff like that. And he was actually like, oh yeah, that would be great too. So really nice guy. So when you first start playing with the Arbor, it's a little bit heavier than you might expect. I thought it was going to be lighter because it has this hollow design, and the wood is not exactly heavy either. But like I mentioned in the first section, it has a great hand feel, so just on every throw it feels really nice, on every catch it feels really nice, which I didn't know what to expect because of the wooden sides and stuff, and the design is so different than what you might expect. But it plays really solid. It moves really well. It has a really good stable feel to it. It's not the most stable, probably just because the shape, I don't know, and because the design is so out there, but that's not really what I feel like the yo-yo is going for. It has a nice long spin to it as well. I mean, you could say it's rim weighted, I think. I don't know how it looks inside the cup here, but I don't know if this adds any extra weight, this metal ring here. I actually asked the person who made this about it, and he said, you know, it didn't look like there was anything else on the market that looked like that, so then he put that on there, I guess. It came with a center track, so you've got a nice string centering bearing, and the response, I believe, is flow groove? I think so. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. In any case, the response is fantastic on it. Everything about this is just really fun. You know, the nice flared shape makes slacks and whips pretty easy to get in there. It has a nice long spin, so it gets through combos pretty well. It's not like the lightest feeling yo-yo, so I don't know how it does for speed, and I'm not a speed player, so I can't really, you know, talk about that. But it does feel really smooth the way it goes through tricks. It just feels really nice in general. It's kind of one of those yo-yos that's like a mono metal, or, you know, it feels like a mono metal, even though it is a bi-material and kind of a unique one at that. But it definitely does play a lot more interestingly than you might expect from this kind of yo-yo. It actually plays really well. I don't know, I guess it just kind of defied my expectations, because I know I say this all the time, but I didn't know what to think about it. I always say that. But I mean, honestly, with this, like, look at it, you don't really know how it's going to play till you get it in your hand, and I was very pleasantly surprised by it. But one thing that's really important that we need to talk about is just how it feels on the string. When you first throw it, performance, stability, spin time, all that stuff aside, the way it feels is very, very different. It might feel similar to some people who've thrown yo-yos with caps in them. That's kind of the first impression I got, is like the Raptor with caps in is the first impression I got. It doesn't feel exactly like that, but it has the same sort of aura about it, where it has a slightly hollow design. You can kind of feel the material when it's on the string. When it binds, you can definitely hear a different sound. You can kind of feel the material resonating, the wood on the metal. And it's just a really interesting, new and different way to make a yo-yo, and because of that, the hand feel is so crazy and different. And the play feel is different too. Every time you bind, every time you throw it, every time you do a trick with it, you're gonna sense that difference in material. And it's not a bad thing, it feels really fun and new. The one thing I might mention is, like, it's not really a huge deal. It's got a tiny little bit of nail vibe on it. You don't feel it on the string though, so I don't really think that's a problem at all. And also he did mention that this was one that he wasn't sure he was selling, I think, if I remember correctly. So I'm pretty sure the ones that are actually being sold are like tested a lot more. Anyway, the nail vibe is not enough to make me not recommend this. And I mean, with these sides, you should expect it to not be absolutely dead smooth. And that's not the point of the yo-yo anyway. I know I complain about vibes sometimes, and that's kind of silly, but I think you have to take the yo-yo into consideration. I think when you're paying money for something and people say, yeah, this is for performance and competition and blah, 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 and then it's super vibey, I think that that's a problem. And when people are going out on a limb, trying to make something really cool, trying to make something really different, and they end up making something with like the Arbor that has this really interesting bimaterial design, because they're trying to make something different and they're trying to make something unique and special. So if it doesn't play 100% dead smooth, I don't think that's a problem at all. One other thing I should mention is that when you order this from the Lowkey site, you can choose from different colors, and you can also choose from different woods as well. Since I live in Japan, some options were not open to me because of, the laws regarding importing woods to different countries. Also, I think you can get some laser engravings on this as well. He'll do that custom laser engraving, so that's pretty cool as well. I might get one with a Tokyo logo someday. But yeah, I mean, everything about the project is great. I just love that this is kind of the thing I was talking about with yo-yos that I feel like sometimes yo-yos can get a little bit samey, and maybe that's a silly complaint because I'm not that good, so who am I to talk about this because my skill is so low. But what I mean is, for a while there, all we were getting was like a lot of V-shaped bimetals and a lot of companies kind of basing yo-yos on older designs, or even sometimes there were companies who are like doing yo-yos based on other companies' designs and stuff like that. This is what I was talking about when I said that there needs to be like a new material and a new design method and a new way of looking at yo-yos that a lot of companies aren't exploring yet. If you're looking for something that's new and exciting and not boring at all, then the Arbor is really what you should be looking at. And the Woodland, I haven't even mentioned yet, the Woodland is like a slimline version. So this is like the regular performance level version, and the Woodland is like a slimline, kind of classically shaped one. But it still has the wood sides, and you can still get it laser engraved. So pros, the material. I just love that this thing has wood sides. That's a really cool thing to me. It's a really interesting and new and unique way to make a yo-yo, and I really think people should give it a try because it feels so different. The look is really cool, as you guys saw. I love the walnut here, and the gunmetal is really nice. You can get these in like a gold color, the metal, and you can get it on all these different wood types. It's just a really interesting amount of customization options. The price is really good. This is something I expected, to be $100 or something like that, but I think they're like around 50 or 60, even maybe even less than that, I'm not sure, but the price is really good for this thing. It's stable too. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be stable at all because of the shape, because of the material and design and stuff, but it's just as stable as any other yo-yo I'm playing with right now. The performance is really good. Again, like when I first was picking it up and even looking at it on Instagram, I didn't think that it was something that could perform well, it could meet the expectations of a lot of other yo-yos, but it definitely can. And it's daring. I'm glad that somebody actually went out there and did something different instead of just a lot of people saying like, oh yeah, this thing's new, we put a new ring on there, we put more rings on there, we put more metal, it's made of titanium but it's purple. This yo-yo is actually different, and they dared to be different, and it seems like it's successful because of that too. As for cons, like I said, it's got a little bit of vibe. You can't feel it on the string at all. You can feel it on your nail and on your grinds and stuff. Like I said, that could be just the one I got. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. I was going to say when I first got this that it wasn't much of a performer, but I actually have changed my mind on that. It's definitely not one that I think you're going to take up on stage. I don't know if it's going to have like the spin time and the stability of your double ring bimetal or anything like that, but I don't think it needs to be, and I think yo-yos that only go for that and strive to be that is kind of boring. So I just think that that's a really cool aspect of this. In conclusion, I think you guys should try an Arbor. They're really, really fun. The person who's selling them, who's making them, is super, super nice. I want to say thanks again for letting me take a look at this thing. It's been a lot of fun to try. Sorry it took so long to get the video out. But yeah, for the price and for what you can do with them and all the different customization options, I think it's definitely something you guys should check out. Alright, thank you so much for watching, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a like, a comment, and subscription. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take care. Have a nice day, and sayonara.